Okey, kita dengan saudara Fadil yang head the creative side of
Creative and marketing.
Creative and marketing of thelorry.com.
Okay.
Jadi, so what is your scope of work here?
As the head of the department, my responsibility is to actually there's different areas lah. Saya kena jaga basically in terms of creative would be marketing materials, website design, mobile app design, and also any other collaterals in regards to our marketing purposes lah.
So like macam corporate profile,
any presentation decks, flyers,
letterhead pun.
yes, even envelopes.
Even envelopes and the
letterhead,
consignment and
stationery lah.
Stationery semua lah, and A to Z lah.
Yep, basically A to Z.
Lepas tu dah, kalau marketing channels, do you decide on them or what?
Basically right now, because the Lorry is an online platform, so most of our marketing materials will be for online based lah. So it will be online based. It will be typical on the typical channels lah, Facebook, Instagram, and other websites that we want to be featured on lah.
Google Ads ke Facebook?
Yes, we do cover Google Ads as well. Anything that relates to online punya avenues, we will approach that kind of channels lah. For offline marketing, currently we do quite a limited amount of number lah. For newspapers, we haven't gone into that yet, but in the planning stage lah.
Gambar belum lagi lah.
Belum lagi, magazines belum. The thing is, with marketing ni, we have to choose the right /suitable punya channels lah. Because of course we can market to everywhere, but they will actually affect our marketing budget. That will actually dilute the branding jugalah. So we have to carefully select the most suitable ones lah.
Tak boleh nak like shotgun semua kan?
Tak boleh. Because like I said lah, it's possible to do that, but we might lose the purpose lah.
Might lose purpose and then you don't spend the money effectively lah.
Yes, correct. We have to be frugal jugalah that way.
Yelah, the traditional media, TV, suat gambar, radio, and they're like really desperate for advertisers kan.
They need the exposure desperately lah. Of course we do need exposure juga. But we have to be careful lah of where we want to be featured on.
Sekarang ni Lorry ada like 3 main business lah kan. B2C, B2B, lepas tu like distribution. So how do you juggle these 3 different areas that require 3 different kind of marketing?
Okay. Firstly, we have to be, of course, for the customers, the general customers, we have to be specific lah with what they need lah. Usually, it's about moving houses, whereas the B2B clients, it's about delivery of products. Even though they do the same thing, but in terms of the feel of the marketing and the message that we put in has to be directed the right way lah. I would say 50% for customer, 50% to B2B clients, more or less the same message lah we're putting in right now. But in terms of visual tu differs a bit lah. Differs a bit.
Maksudnya dan untuk B2B bit more customized lah, buat the pitch deck.
Correct.
So you nak really specific to the specific client lah.
Correct, betul. So itulah in terms of process, quite a lot to think of lah, to think about lah. So that's why basically we are still brainstorming in terms of the direction of the company's new marketing materials semua lah. We work closely with the customer service punya department and also the vendor punya relationship punya department lah. So nak kena cover the whole aspect. Correct.
The whole aspect of the communication of the company lah.
Betul.
Not just the advertising only lah kan.
Betul. Just to make sure the message is correct lah for all of these people lah.
How do you manage with all these new services, new apps, new countries coming in? Macam mana? More challenges coming in.
Actually,
what your plan?
It's basically, of course, we have to do it step by step lah. The main point is that we have to make the base strong dulu, which is dekat HQ lah, Malaysia dulu, KL dulu. Only then, once we go out, whether it's UK ke Singapore ke anywhere, we can apply the same process at this in these other countries lah. Making the base strong tu can take some time jugalah, because nak to find the right direction for the brand, for the people pun, there's some study that needs to be made lah.
And then once you find that direction pun, you need some time to like make it solidify.
Yeah, correct. Nak
Sampai-
execute pun you need some time to
Time.
actually, correct. We already have hubs in Johor, Melaka, Ipoh dengan Penang, and Singapore coming up soon. Whatever we are doing for the hubs ni pun locally here might not be the same for Singapore, because the people there, the culture there is slightly different lah, even though we speak the same language. So we're already in talks with the manager in Singapore and get some tips from him lah on how the locals want things to be done over there. So marketing material pun might differ slightly lah juga. Yeah. But the message more or less should be the same feel.
I mean, you work for quite an well-established company before, right? So coming to startup, ada culture shock tak? I mean, like from a very corporate kind of company lah, like that long years of history, and then you're coming to a very young company, but very fast growing. So is there like culture shock ke? Do you like what do you like here? Macam mana?
Okay.
What is
Actually,
like?
culture shock tu tak ada sangat lah, because I've been wanting to go into startup since last year lah. So I've been reading a lot about startups, dia punya culture, dia punya expectations, long hours tu is a given lah
So
in the
you dah
industry.
mentally
Dah
prepared
tahu
lah.
lah. In fact, even myself in terms of working long hours ke apa, it's been since sekolah juga, college lah, because I studied architecture.
Okay, faham lah.
It's a long process to do whatever you're doing lah. So after dah graduate semua pun, eventually I jump into another industry, which is advertising. So it's totally here and there lah. From advertising tu, I went into in a way production, advertising production lah. That would be in production houses lah. So I manage projects in terms of, as a producer, you have to get the content from different people, suppliers semua, combine together into one product lah for the client. Then jumping into startup, more or less I would say whatever I have accumulated throughout the years ni, more or less I could apply back lah into startup ni.
Yeah, I can see that bila production kan, sebab you pernah buat production which is very high level of uncertainty
And also stress.
and stress kan, sebab deadline very tight kan. So bila masuk startup, okay, not that far off lah kan.
Yeah.
Tapi if you coming from print advertising, coming to here, I think will be culture shock lah.
Yeah, correct. Because the gap of the experience to be besar lah, beza lah. So I'm very fortunate to actually whatever I've received so far in terms of experience tu, I can apply back lah.
So nasihat kalau siapa yang nak masuk startup ni, kena mentally prepared, and then
Yes, and also you have to read a lot on what startup is all about lah. Yeah, because eventually startup is more or less is like, I would say startup is like a glorified punya term for SME lah. Yeah, because it's actually still a SME.
yeah, cumanya the pace is different lah.
Correct, and also it's mostly tech based lah. Yeah, tech based.
Okay, all the best.
Okay, thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you.
Nanti
Thank you.
we catch up later.